In the grime and grit of ancient battlefields, where blood mingled with dust and death often rode on the wind, men carried with them more than weapons. Tucked into tunics, hung around necks, or chewed before the clash of steel, there it was: garlic. Not as rations, not as seasoning, but as something older and deeper. A talisman. A shield. A silent companion against forces even more terrifying than swords or spears. Roman soldiers marched into war with garlic pressed into their gear. The pharaoh's laborers who built the pyramids were fed garlic daily, their strength attributed to it as much as their skill. In the dense cities of medieval Europe, garlic was stuffed into doorways, burned in chambers, and worn like armor during outbreaks of plague. In every case, the belief ran the same: garlic protected. From disease. From weakness. From death. At first glance, it might sound like folklore, the kind of thing people did when they had no better options. But that underestimates garlic's legacy, because the truth is, it worked. Before antibiotics, before germ theory, before anyone understood microbes or immunity, garlic was one of the only known substances that actually slowed the spread of illness and infection. People didn't need scientific journals. They had experience. They watched garlic succeed where other remedies failed. Garlic, after all, is not a gentle herb. It bites back. Crush a clove and its cells rupture, releasing allicin, an aggressive, sulfur-rich compound that instantly begins to hunt and kill bacteria, viruses, and fungi. The scent itself is a warning, a chemical flare in the air that repels harmful agents, both microbial and mythical. And in a world teetering between life and death, garlic's brutal honesty was a comfort. Imagine a Roman camp on the frontier. The soldiers exhausted, wounded, vulnerable. A single infection could sweep through the ranks like wildfire. But garlic could be chewed raw to kill throat infections, packed into wounds to prevent festering, rubbed onto skin to repel insects carrying disease. Its sharp, hot profile stirred the blood and stimulated circulation, giving men the illusion, and perhaps the reality, of vigor. It was medicinal and motivational, a plant that healed and hardened. During disease outbreaks, garlic's role was just as vital. In plague-ridden towns, where the sick died faster than they could be buried, garlic was burned in homes and worn like a charm. People believed it warded off the plague demons. They didn't know about airborne pathogens or bacterial colonies, but they knew that garlic changed the air. It stung the nostrils, cleared the sinuses, and seemed to draw a line between the living and the dying. Even the so-called for thieves' vinegar, a famous plague remedy said to be used by robbers who looted the homes of the sick without falling ill, included heavy doses of garlic. Was it myth? Maybe. But the idea that garlic could protect you when all else failed was not born from desperation alone. It was born from generations of trial and truth. And the science now confirms what the soldiers and survivors already knew. Garlic's compounds, allicin, diallyl sulfides, and aegin, have been proven to kill dozens of bacterial strains, even some that resist modern antibiotics. Its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties support the immune system during times of extreme stress. It can reduce fever, clear infection, thin the blood, lower cholesterol, and protect the heart, all things that matter in both war and plague. There's a reason it earned the title Russian penicillin during the Second World War, when even trained doctors fell back on garlic when pharmaceutical supplies ran out. There's a reason that in nearly every major civilization, garlic was not just food, it was defense. But garlic's power goes deeper than chemistry. There's something almost spiritual in the way it was used. The belief in garlic as a talisman wasn't only symbolic. It was visceral. Carrying garlic meant something. It meant you were prepared. It meant you were rooted in an ancient lineage of protection. It meant you had not given up. To wear garlic into battle or into a plague-stricken town was to declare that you still had power over your fate. That not all tools were forged in iron or gold. Some grew in the dirt. Some burned in your mouth and reminded you that you were alive. Even now, when wars are fought with drones and pandemics are met with vaccines and policy, garlic has not disappeared. It's still crushed into broths, brewed into teas, tucked into wellness kits, and sold in capsules to boost resilience. The old rituals remain because their logic was never wrong. Garlic gives the body what it needs to fight, and the spirit what it needs to believe. So no, garlic was never just superstition. It was strategy. It was strength. It was science hidden in a bulb, wrapped in myth, passed from hand to hand through the centuries like a secret too important to forget. A talisman, yes, but not one of helpless hope. One of earned respect. Garlic is not just protection. It is the proof that sometimes the most powerful medicine grows in silence, waiting to be remembered.